On this week's show, we're going to be discussing style, who has it and who doesn't. I'll be talking to Pam Hogg, Wayne from Red or Dead, Annabel Giles and Tasty Tim. But right now, here's a young woman who everybody seems to think is the queen of style. This is Madonna with Vogue. Well-known fashion designer from Scotland. Tasty Tim, don't know where you're from, and Annabel Giles. Posh Box and...
New Trousers.
A brilliant show.
Ridiculous title.
So we're talking about style. I mean, you were talking to me upstairs in the green room, and we were talking about rap style. What do you think about rap style?
Not much at all. I mean, anybody can walk into a sports shop and put a pair of training shoes and stripy trousers on. I mean, it's...
What about those? What about those sort of trousers that MC Hammer wears? You know, it's kind of Alibaba on the 7.
Well, they're all right if you've got a problem with your bowels, but for anything else.
What about you? What do you think about those sort of?
Well, I don't particularly think he has actually got too much style, but there's a lot of rappers who do have style, but everybody copies it and it makes it.
Like who though?
Name a rapper. Now, name a rapper. Name a rapper.
Come on. DMC started the whole thing, and they were one of the, they were the best to start with. I loved the way they juxtaposed that with the heavy metal. Their style was fabulous. A lot of people have copied that, copied all this, and it ends up as a,
a cliche.
It does.
What about you? I mean, you obviously don't look like you'd be into the kind of...
Never rapper.
I can't bear it. Can't bear it at all.
Well, I don't mind it. I mean, on a flattering note, those great big trainers, you know those trainers who look like sort of great big trainers, they're very flattering on your legs. If you've got slightly wider calves than average, they're very flattering on the legs with the rolled down socks.
Well, you don't look like you've got wide calves.
Oh, believe me, I'm a clever dresser.
But I do like the platform trainer. Oh, yes. Which, of course, the Galinda and myself, and of course you have.
I wore them once, yes. But what do you think about? What do you all think about the way that fashion? I mean, has fashion become more conservative?
No, much more wild.
I think it's become wilder.
Yeah.
But
do you think there's a smaller audience for wild clothes now?
There's a much smaller audience, because if you go to a club now, basically you're stuck with football hooliganism. You've got the hooligans have moved from the terraces to the clubs, and so trendy people don't really want to go there.
Not kinky-galinky though.
Oh, God forbid.
The hooligans go there to pick up drag queens, don't they?
Yeah. No, the reason it went really boring is because people were really scared and they want some money, and they try to make things that they think are going to sell, and that's where it all goes wrong, because how do you know what people want until they buy it? And if they're buying the same old thing, it's only because that's what they can only get. So basically, they should just get down to it and do what they really think is right in themselves.
There's nothing to dress up for at the moment. I mean,
no, exactly.
There's so little to dress up for.
When was there ever anything to dress up for?
Really, you do it for yourself.
Do you need an excuse?
Obviously not.
You don't need an excuse to dress up. You do it when you want to. You know.
But as a fashion designer, how do you? I mean, you've got to make money, right? You've got to shop.
Obviously,
you've got to shop. You've got to make money. You've got. Surely you have to water down some of your things to actually sell.
No, I mean, I will not compromise. There's too many people out there compromising. What's the point? I mean, I'm actually not in it for the money, although I wouldn't mind if that limo was outside in the street, but I'm doing it because it's what I want to do, and I wouldn't bastardise my work just to make
but how do you
extra pounds.
It's
Well,
different
Wayne
with
doesn't
us.
do that either, but you make loads of money, don't you?
Yeah, but we
do.
Wayne doesn't
drinks.
He does, yes. You do very well.
We do
he gets outrageous clothing.
Yeah, we do.
He's a businessman.
Yeah, I take it more from a business side.
Yeah.
I mean, from our point of view, we'll do catwalk shows, we'll do crazy outfits for the press, and that will get our name, up in lights. And then we've got 8 shops where we'll only have a few of the really exciting things in, and sell things that are less exciting. Because basically, I don't want to be in it for the rest of my life and not make any money.
Well, here comes someone on video now who probably, I don't know if he's ever bought any of your stuff, but he looks like he might have. This is Prince with Glam Slam.
Well, he's a one-off. I mean, so he's got some style in that respect. I don't necessarily.
Isn't
that what style is? Isn't style, after all, having your own style?
But isn't Prince like an amalgamation of Jimi Hendrix, James Brown, Sly Stone, Hilda Baker?
There's no such thing as an original idea, though, is there?
Everybody takes a piece of what they love, but the originality in the style is in doing it and making it become individual. I mean, no two people are alike, and if you use what your own thoughts are, whether it's taking a few ideas from here and there, but if you're using the emotion of those ideas rather than the actuality, then it becomes one singular aspect, which is yourself.
But do you think like Prince would get away with the clothes that he wears if he wasn't such a great musician? I mean, do you think people would?
But
I mean, like some people do get slammed. Like some people, I mean, you do get judged on the way that you look. I mean, do you think it's the fact?
You didn't it?
Well, of course,
come on, this happened to you. No one thought you might have a good voice as well until they actually heard you sing.
But do you think, like, for instance, because Prince plays the guitar, he looks like a musician. He gets away with it.
That's the thing,
Some of the things he wears, are pretty ridiculous. You would wear them, don't lie. Well, the last show I went to see of him,
redesign him.
he had.
But I mean, he has got substance. He does. I mean, people like the way he looks because he dresses the way he feels, right? But I think he could do with a bit of guidance.
So what would you do to Prince?
That's another thing altogether.
What would you do to him?
No, actually, it's not my type.
Go on.
Oh, are we off air now?
No, we're not. Just don't be crude.
Tell the
Your
world.
mother might be watching.
Well, personally, I'm not keen on him. Myself.
What, you don't like the way?
No.
I like his heels though. That's.
Yeah,
he's
he's got a look. He's got a sort of like Spick, postcards of my sister.
But it's funny. It's funny because when you go to his shows, you know, like I mean, when I went to see him at Wembley last time, he had this polka dot stilettos, polka dot really see-through flares on, and there were all the people in the audience were really straight-looking, and I was just wondering what the hell they must have been thinking.
It's hard to know if
He's wiggling his bum in their faces. You think, what are they thinking?
Take it because you know he's a good musician. I mean, he can actually play every single instrument on the stage, and has done in previous concerts, gone round like taken over from the drummer from behind and all. Showing off, but you've got to have a certain amount of admiration for it. If he's going to wear ridiculous clothes as well, I think the straight people are there for the music, and there's probably a lot of people there to see what he's wearing.
But it's hard to know which pop stars have natural style.
Exactly. I mean, remember Madonna when Madonna started. Now she had a very strong look and style on No Money. She had like sort of dyed neck curtains and a bright side of thing, and loads of crucifixes.
But she was a determined girl with style.
Yeah, exactly. But she still had it then. What happens, unfortunately, with a lot of people is when they get money, they go straight to the designers and they lose any imagination they had, clothes-wise.
You see,
no, that's stylists who come in who are trying to...
Well, they shouldn't let that happen.
But that's what the record companies do. I mean, people like Kylie, I mean, I'm not knocking her because in actual fact, if you put her against someone like
some of your stuff.
she's but, you know, people come along, I mean, she is not someone who has natural style, but she has a lot of people around her. There's a load of money there pumping into her. She can actually look fantastic. I'm not saying that is style, because there's one thing of looking good, and there's another thing of having natural style.
Natural style is to wake up in the morning, put anything on, and you look good, whatever, because you've got it. I mean,
anyone here has that. I
don't need to look in a mirror.
I don't need to be rude. We all have to work on it. We'll be talking about this group in a minute. Right now, here's some Happy Mondays. I mean, what do you think? I mean, we talked about that, the way that whole fashion thing, I mean, those kind of bands are promoting a very normal look. What do you think of Happy Mondays?
Well, they're a football band. They're exactly why fashion is very bad at the moment.
You blame them single-handedly?
Well, they're one of the main reasons. The music is really good, but what, you don't dress up to music like that, so it's killing the fashion industry at the moment.
What could Sean Ryder wear, though? I mean, he's a weird-looking guy, isn't he? What could you put him in?
Again, do you think he'd look nice in that?
Yes, gorgeous. Well, why would a Happy Mondays fan wouldn't dress up at all? You'd dress down.
What we're talking about here is monetary factors.
Yeah, I think it's the cheap.
It's money factors. Forget the money factors. They are right for the music that they're putting out.
They're right for the music they've got, yeah.
So that doesn't. It doesn't matter.
But they haven't got style.
I think they've got style.
Well, like you're saying that everybody that goes to football matches got style.
No way, they're not like it. They're people with substances, as I've said before, and it comes...
Yeah, they have substances, you're right.
If you have it, it comes through. It comes through.
If they can afford those substances, they can afford a good wardrobe, right?
They've got substances,
Have you dealt with Happy Mondays?
No, what do you...
Mondays.
They're very
what do they wear?
They wear cords.
Not
a lot of cords.
There's funny stuff in the water in Manchester.
Is it not my kind of thing?
Not even what you'd go to the supermarket in, dear.
Oh, my love, no, you
Because
wouldn't.
Mr. Byright.
So, I mean,
Brian Iron.
whereabouts? You're from, I know you're from Scotland, from Glasgow, right? And you're from
Lancashire.
Today's places have. Do you think they have a lot of style?
I mean, everywhere has style. I mean, it's the individuals create style.
Yeah. Is it different? Is it different to London though? The style there, or is it pretty much the same?
It's becoming less different.
I must say, I went to Rome, right, which in the Italians always seen as like big snappy dresses.
You liked it though, I watched that.
Oh, you watched that, did you?
Yeah,
well, let me tell you that, I was desperate. By the time I came home, I was desperate to see, like, someone like yourself.
And Tim was at the airport.
Because everybody was in their bloody blue blazers and gold buttons and it was really boring. Yes, they looked chic and smart and stylish, yeah, but they just looked dull. I actually was desperate to do a quick trot up and down the King's Road, you know. Well, no, but we always see the Italians, like if you have an Italian belt, it's supposed to be quite a smart thing to have, or something made in Italy or designed.
So, on that point, I mean, what do you think about people like John Galliano, for instance, who's an English designer, British designer, whatever, going off to Paris and not showing in London?
Well, that's all politics of British fashion.
What do you think?
It's not good for the industry, but it's good for him.
Yeah, well, and at the end of the day, good on him, because quite honestly, I mean, this country does not support the design.